So many women go through this behind closed doors, and the world outside does not know.
How do you live with not having a face?
I did not want to scream for help while he was raping me. I could have died.
Everything is going well, and I can look in that mirror and I turn the wrong way and I see him. I want him off of me. Hi, my name is Shani Sparks. I am 38 years old and I'm a survivor of domestic violence. My child and I were in the house and he had came home from an interview. I thought it went well, but apparently not, because I turned the TV off one too many times, asking him to keep the volume down for my daughter. She was asleep. Set up, and my child's father struck me very hard. As I tried to get up, my child's father took the back of my head and he banged my head into the floor. And as I went down the second time, I almost went blank because I got blinded by blood falling down my face. The third bash, I saw my baby screaming, reaching for me, crying, yelling out, "Mom." Such a horrible thing, because the person that I thought that was here to protect my daughter and I was abusing me and truly hurting me in front of my child. He broke my nose. My face is starting to drop on that side because of the damage he did to the nasal cavity and the lost fat tissue done from the trauma. I don't understand, where did it come from for you to be with someone and be able to inflict that much pain on them?
My name is Sandra, and my ex-husband, who was the perpetrator, which made me lose most of the right side of my face. I thought he would protect me, and turned out that it was just the opposite. Before we got married, he had hit me several times. I just thought that was okay, and my life was going to be better than my childhood, because I had a pretty difficult childhood. And so when you grow up thinking that you don't deserve anything good, you accept anything. And when I walked into a car, I saw him with another woman. So I walked out, and when I walked out, he followed me. And for some insane reason, he turned it around where it was my fault. I just thought, I love him. I believed he loved me, and love was gonna fix everything. I can't even tell you how many times he punched me. Good, he had knocked me unconscious and left me in the side of the street. And so when I woke up in the gutter, he was gone. The swelling was so bad that they hospitalized me, and my face had started to turn black because infection had set in. And the doctor that had treated me thought that I was most likely going to die, so there really wasn't that much he could do. So by the time my family came, they were told that I had 3 days to live. All the gangrene had set in, and it was going down my neck and into my brain, and I actually should have died. I had a nose hanging and just a skeletal. That's the frame, that's all I had. My face, the way it looks now, is 1,000 times better than what it looked like when this first happened to me.
My name is Joanna Orozco, and I am 26 years old. I was with Juan for the total of 2 years. He just loved to shove me against the wall or on the lockers, and then it became to where he started to slap me, kicked me, strangled me, dragged me by my hair, and I kept going back. And I kept going back, and I kept going back. And again, the reason why I kept going back is because I did love him. I cared about him. I believed when he said that he would change. After 2 years, something just spoke to me and said, "Don't hold your breath anymore." I called him and I told him, "Juan, I'm sorry. I just can't do this anymore." And I went to go turn on the car. And then there's where I saw a man dressed in all black from head to toe, and he took out a shotgun. He pointed it at me right when I was going to turn the car on and drive off. It was already too late. Juan already shot me in the face, and he left me for dead. They told me about my injuries. They told me that half of my lower face was missing and that I was going to forever need reconstructive surgery.
So each of Face Paula's patients are very, very different. But the one thing that we do have in common is there's no socio-economic background when it comes to domestic violence. It's all over the scale. People who are very, very wealthy, who have nothing now, people who have not had a lot in their life, but they all have domestic violence in common. And I think that's what the world needs to understand.
My name is Hanifa Nachirawa from Uganda. I am a master's graduate in economics from the University of Nairobi. In my last year at the university, I married this man, not because I loved him, but because I knew my family would approve him. I never saw any light ahead of me in this marriage. Everything around me seemed to be dark. Even after my degree, he was not willing to let me go out to work. I always had to seek permission whenever I had to do anything. And I felt I'm being treated like a slave. He told me that he cannot continue with a woman he cannot control. So I had to choose between marriage and work. So I chose to quit this marriage. He asked me to give him the children to spend a weekend with. When I shared it with my dad, he told me that he had the right to have access to the children. He called me on Sunday. I went to his house to pick up my children. When I knocked, I heard footsteps coming towards the door, and I waited. Within a while, a young man came walking towards me, disguised as a security officer, and within a blink of an eye, this young man had thrown a content at my face I did not identify. At first it felt cold and heavy like oil. Even the smell itself smelled like brake fluid. And within seconds I felt this horrible burning sensation. As I looked at my arms, I saw my clothes tearing into pieces. When my dad got to me, he fainted. Whoever looked at me just broke down and cried. But when I looked at my arm, wherever the acid had touched was completely black, like charcoal. I never knew my nose would melt away. It doesn't melt away immediately. Things begin to fall off over time.
Face Forward is not a handout, it's a hand up. So we give you the hand, we give you the tools.
I am going to be able to look at Shani for once in my life. Since 9 years, I'm going to be able to look and see me and not me after being hurt.
Face Forward to me is a godsend. And I am so grateful to them, not just for what they're doing for me today, but for what they're doing for survivors out there.
And it gave me hope that maybe with time I'll look better. Today, Face Forward is bringing that to reality.
I have been so lucky, so fortunate to be able to take off my mask, take off my disguise, and just show my face.